Today we're diving into a topic that many exporters deal with, but sometimes overlook: exporting samples. Shipping samples seems simple, but if you're not careful, you could face customs delays, penalties, or service issues. I'm Kari Crane, editor of Shipping Solutions' international trade blog Passages. I'll explain what you need to know to ensure you're following regulations. But before I get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our basics of exporting videos. Exporting samples isn't as straightforward as dropping them at the post office or handing them off to UPS or another shipper. Customs regulations vary by country, and while the US has clear guidelines for importing samples, there's no universal set of rules for exporting them. That's why it's important to follow some best practices. Let's start with documentation. You need to use a commercial invoice. Unlike a proforma invoice, which is just an offer of sale, the commercial invoice serves as the key document for customs clearance. Make sure the invoice clearly states that the item is a sample and not for sale. The way you word this description is important. Robert Imbriani recently joined us for a webinar called What You Need to Know About Exporting Samples and Repaired Goods. He provided some great examples of how to properly describe samples on a commercial invoice. For true samples, those not suitable for their intended use, use a description like sample, no commercial value, value for customs purposes only, and then include the value in US dollars. For samples that could be used as intended or sold, you might write sample, no charge, value for customs purposes only, and then include the value in US dollars. The key is to be specific and transparent. Remember, customs authorities rely on these descriptions to determine whether duties apply. There's a link below to watch the full recording of our webinar on samples. Finally, let's cover valuation, the dollars. The value you list on your commercial invoice must be accurate and verifiable. Don't just pick a random number like $1 or $5 unless you can justify it. And never list a value below $1. Even if the sample isn't for sale, customs authorities in the destination country need to know its proper value. It's also important to avoid letting your customers determine the value. As the exporter, compliance is your responsibility. If you're traveling with samples or need a flexible solution, consider using a temporary import bond or an ATA carnet. A carnet can be reused for multiple trips and is ideal for moving samples between countries efficiently. Learn more about ATA carnets in an article linked below. Follow these best practices and you'll avoid delays, penalties, and other issues. If you want to dive deeper into this topic, I'll share a number of links below, including to our blog Passages, where we've published hundreds of articles on exporting and compliance. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos sharing tips and best practices for exporting and compliance.